here with Lisa Westerman, who's been a huge part of SOchat Hour in our previous life. So Lisa, you were there at the very beginning and we did a Vox Pop like this one at our launch event in London in 2017, and we're here in 2022 still going. The conversation about shared ownership still needs to happen. So what's kind of happened in the last 5 years, would you say, in shared ownership?
I'd say there's so much more of it in terms of programme and delivery, but also in terms of new entrants into the sector, new people. There's lots of people who are quite new to shared ownership and delivering it at the front end, but also even the more experienced people, there's just more of it. There's more of a conversation, I think.
It's interesting you mentioned new people, new entrants to this shared ownership space, because that's kind of why we rebranded to SOchat. The conversation is not just restricted to Wednesday at 8 p.m. It's going to be across all channels, but we just want that conversation to continue, and the new colourways is to represent the vibrancy of the sector with all the different people in it. So what are the hot topics in shared ownership in 2022, Lisa?
I'd say there's always that conversation about the housing market and how shared ownership can assist people get on the property ladder, issues around affordability and how that helps people. Just bringing the conversation out there in a modern way. I think so many people don't understand what shared ownership is still. I work across the country really delivering shared ownership at the front end, and there's so many young people as well as the older demographic who just don't understand what shared ownership's about. So we just need to keep that conversation going. I think to have it in a more flexible way is really, really good for the sector, because not everyone can just dip in at certain times. So to have that available and accessible at any point is a really good tool.
Yeah, and when Amy and I set up SOchat Hour 5 years ago, it was about creating a community of people, because shared ownership within UK housing wasn't really a big conversation. I'm not sure if it's actually progressed any further or much, but there is far more of shared ownership. Do you think it's important, the community that we've created in that 5-year period, which we're committed to continuing, is it important to have that community of people talking about specifically shared ownership?
Absolutely. You do an amazing job bringing that community together. I think, even this conference a few years ago, you'd never get, sales and marketing people present. You've got all kinds of people from all parts of the business here present, and I think even to have this stand here, it's fantastic. And I think, people, particularly who are new to the sector, with the national sales group and the conversation there and the conversation on here, people are definitely connecting who 15 years ago would never have even come across each other. So I think it's really, really valuable for everybody, even people who've been around for a long time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you very much, Lisa.
You're welcome.